Yo, 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 welcome to the podcast, Dropping the Soap. You guys already know what time it is. It's me, Marty, my boy Junior, the greatest man that ever walked this earth. What? What's up, Junior? How you been, man? What's on your mind today, bro?
What's up, bro? Nothing, just chilling, bro. Hey, for the viewers out there, Marty does have a different hat. It's just that this is our lucky hat, so he has to sport it every time we come on here. You know what I'm saying? He my boy though. But just letting you guys know.
I was wearing the black hat in the last one.
I can't remember, bro.
I was wearing the black hat in the last one.
I can't watch them, so we'll stick with that one. Nah, but today we got the last. Today we're gonna introduce the last member of our team. His name is Trigger. Good guy.
Trigger, yeah.
Is he as good as Clarence? I don't know. Maybe is Trigger better than Clarence? Who knows? Or are they better than me? I don't know. We don't know.
Yeah,
Nah,
we don't know yet.
Both of them are cool people. Trigger's a very good guy. So I've known him also for like about a year and a half. And so whenever you're ready, we'll get the big Trigger over here.
Man, bring him on, bro. Bring him on. Welcome, Trigger, man.
Welcome, Trigger. Get over here.
He's not even ready. Hey, bro.
Marty.
Yo, what's up, Trigger? What? What you up to, bro? How you doing, man?
Right here, just chilling, kicking back. Just came in from the yard, you know what I mean? Put my dog in her kennel real quick. I'm right here chilling.
Nice, man. Hey, man, welcome to the podcast, Dropping the Soap. You already know what time it is, man. I wanted you to just ask, first of all, how'd you meet Junior, number one, and tell us a little bit about yourself as well.
So how'd I met Junior? Junior, I came into the dog program. I seen him from far away on the yard here and there. And once I got interviewed, I got put into the program, got in, ended up getting moved in across the street from him. And the rest is history, man. Just walking in and out of the hallway on the way to take the dogs, going to working out, typical prison shit. And he just happened to be right there. That's how I met him.
Nice, bro.
A little bit about myself, man. So I've been going by Trigger since I was 13, right? Just typical gang member, right? Typical gang member, needed attention. Did the straight program, walked through Corcoran State Prison when I was 13. Did that,
Damn.
right? Didn't listen, right? 3 years later, when I was 16, I got arrested for a murder, right? That I did commit, right? I committed murder at the age of 16. So scared straight, I wish it would have been more effective. It really wasn't, but yeah, I ended up committing his murder, and so when I was 16, I ended up getting sentenced to life without parole with a consecutive 25 to life. And now I'm here. 16 years later, I'm still here, right? So
Damn.
next month next month in January, I have the same amount of time on the streets as I have in prison. So it balances out in January.
Damn, bro. Yeah, that's intense, man. Well, at least you're in there. You're doing your time well, bro. You're programming. You're doing a lot of positive stuff. I know you mentioned handling the dogs and stuff, man. That's really cool, bro. There was a couple things I wanted to ask you today, man. I think the first thing I wanted to ask you, bro, is, we talk a lot about peer pressure in life.
Right.
As when you were a kid, like for me, when I was a kid, maybe I got peer pressure to do drugs. We've all kind of been through it. I want to talk about peer pressure in there, bro, right? You've been in since you were 16, right?
16? Yes,
so
sir.
You were a young kid, bro. You were a youngster, man. Did you ever feel like peer pressure to be or act a certain way? Did you ever feel like you had to be, kind of sort of hold on this bravado, hold on this sort of personality because you were so young, you were getting in there, you probably had a lot of older guys trying to get at you, yeah.
Absolutely. I stopped caring about or stopped putting on that mask up until like last year, barely 2-3 years ago. I stopped doing that. Right.
Yeah.
I kept the mask on. Prison culture is you don't snitch, you don't talk to cops. Right. You ride with the homies. You show up, and if the prison culture doesn't see that, because remember, all people have to go on is blood in, blood out, American me, right? Colors, Boulevard Nights. That's how people know about prison, so that they come in and then they follow the crowd. Right? If someone doesn't jump in, he's labeled a weenie or a lame or a bitch. Right? If someone doesn't want to break bread, that fool's stingy, that fool's a bitch, he's holding out, this and that. So from being 16, imagine, right? So 16, I don't want to be labeled by anybody else. I don't want to get punked. I don't want to be labeled as a weenie or a bitch. So I had to throw myself out there. And that was all the way up to like 3 years ago, right? From beginning in fights, then when I hit Kern Valley at 180, I was 20 years old. Someone asked me for a B12. And I didn't want to say no because I was too afraid of what the guy was going to think of me. So I said, oh, even though I didn't want to give him a B12, I gave it to him just because I cared too much about what he think. Right. When I was getting high, right, it was just like, I really don't want to give this guy none, but I'm scared of what he's going to think. Right? His guy's getting into problems. I really don't want to get into that problem because I just finished talking to my mom in the room, talking about I love you, mom. I want to come home, But yeah, my celly's getting into it, and it's like, damn, well, who am I gonna ride with? Am I gonna ride with my mom or gonna ride with this guy, my celly, in prison and stick it out, ride it out with them, or else take the chances of being labeled a weenie or a bitch or a mark or whatever. So
Right.
I cared too much what everybody thought. So there I was getting into problems, getting this so-called backup only because I cared too much about what the next man think. So I was literally sacrificing myself for the next man, right?
Yeah, I think that's kind of crazy what you said, bro. Like, am I going to ride with my mom or am I going to ride with the homies, right? And
Right.
that's such a tough dilemma because you got family on the streets. They care about you. They love you. They want to see you do good. But then you're sitting there in prison and you got all these influences that are surrounding you. And you like you said, you don't want to
Right.
be labeled a punk. You don't want to be labeled a mark. You don't want to be labeled, a bitch. So that's kind of like, I want to ask you, man, what if someone came up to you in prison when you were a young kid and straight up called you a bitch to your face? What would be the reaction? Like, what would be the general thing that an inmate would have to do if they were disrespected like that?
I like that you asked that. I like that you asked because before this situation, right, you've already witnessed this on the yard. You've even seen two things right on the yard.
Yeah.
Someone calling someone a bitch, and they're either walking away and then being stomped out or being labeled as somebody who you just do not want to hang out with on the yard, or what you saw was someone getting on pitch and someone taking off. But the first thing you right, but the first and based on that, right? So you already have a mindset of you either have two choices. Either you're gonna walk away and be labeled on the yard, or you're gonna take off and you're gonna be like, okay, you respect that guy.
Right.
So before that even happens to you, you've already witnessed this hella times over and over again. So you know you got two choices. So if
Yeah.
someone walks up to you like, "What's up, Marquez? What's up, bitch ass?" I promise you this, right? The first thing you're doing is surveying who's watching. Oh, there's
Yeah.
like 15 dudes watching. Oh, goddamn, there's like 15 watching. If I say no, if I walk away, it's gonna be 15 dudes labeling me, telling this story to their roommates. Their roommates are gonna tell everybody else in their yard, and it's over with, right?
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to walk up to me a bitch, I'm surveying the room, and if I see a lot of people, it's over. I feel like I have no choice but to sock the dude in the mouth, right?
Yeah.
Or fight him or whatever because I know everybody's watching, and I didn't
Right.
want to take the chance of being labeled on the yard because then I'll be ostracized by everybody.
Right.
So first I'm surveying. A lot of times it's fucked up, but people will look around like, "Who's watching?" Right? And once they realize people are watching, like, "Oh, I gotta do it. I gotta go all out."
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, yeah, that's fucking, man. I can't even imagine that kind of pressure, bro. Just having to really
Right.
face that kind of situation, those kind of confrontations, man. And I get it. You're trying to look around like, man, as long as no one heard it, who really cares, you know?
I'm
But
all right.
you got
Yeah,
15 dudes
I
that
just
heard
came.
it. You gotta, you probably have to respond to
It's
that,
over.
man.
It's over. And I probably just came from a phone call with my girl, with my mom, with my grandma. She probably just passed away. So I got that pressure that I'm stressed out. Some people don't even have family. Some people get the family members are dying on them. So they go
Yeah.
from being in the cell, the family members just dying, and cops not giving a fuck. Your program getting messed up. So all of a sudden you get out, someone calling you a bitch. So imagine that pressure. There's no counselors. You don't got the friends here. So how do you feel, bro? Are you sad right now? No, no, it's what's up, bro. You want to get high? Like fuck that dude. You want me to walk over there with you so we can beat that dude up, right?
Yeah.
Or someone. It's like it's just so many different factors come into play, right? It's the whole thing.
Yeah. That's pretty deep, bro. That's crazy, bro. Yeah. One of the other questions I wanted to bring up today, too, on this podcast, man, was relationships, man. Like,
Oh
what's
yeah.
the dynamic? I know we talked about peer
Ooh.
pressure and stuff, but what's the dynamic of, like, relationships being in there? Like, if you have a girlfriend on the streets, like, what's that look like, man? You got to write them letters. You have to call them. You guys have to, stay in communication. But do you feel like it's
Mhm.
like real? Was it real love? Is it like, or is it, how does that go? How do you feel about
So
that?
that's how funny that you asked that, right? Because when you first come in, it's like, especially when you think you're in love, right? Especially when you're young, you come in, you think you're in love, and then next thing you're talking to your friends. I saw your girl at this party. I saw her with the guy that you say you didn't want her hanging out with, and you getting the butterflies and you're getting chill
Damn.
up the spine, right? All this is
Yeah.
happening over and over and over again, right? It
Yeah.
repeats itself. So it's like when it comes to relationships in here, at first my mindset was they don't work, right? She's eventually gonna leave, especially being young. You got a 20-year-old girlfriend, 21, 22. They're living life. Their life just keep going, and yours is on pause. So
Right.
it's kind of hard for the chick to stay with you, right? Because she still wants to go to parties. She still wants. She wants. I mean, she got needs, right? Physical needs, emotional needs. She wants to roll over in the middle of the night and hug something, and you ain't there, right? So it becomes a thing where like, oh, I can't be with this guy in prison, and it doesn't help that a lot of people on the streets are smutting you up to your girl, telling you like, oh, he's not gonna get out. Why do you want to be with the inmate? Because inmate, obviously, a word the inmate, right, or someone in prison is looked at as something bad, something negative. Like, who the fuck wants to be with the inmate? So you got
Yeah.
that. So the females got that pressure of their friends saying like, what the fuck? He's in prison. He's probably never gonna get out. He's got hella years. So why are you gonna stop your life for him? You got that pressure on them.
Yeah.
With at the same time, they can't touch you. They can visit you whenever they want. So it definitely makes it really hard. But as the years went on, I realized that I have the right to be happy just as much as the next man. Now, is every woman built for somebody in here? Absolutely not.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Absolutely not. It took a strong woman to be with somebody in it because they gotta put up with, like I said, if they're feeling sad, they can't come home and like, babe, I had a long day at work. They gotta get on the phone and hope that they call and be interrupted by a lady talking about the call's being recorded. When you get deep in the conversation, you got 60 seconds. You can't talk all night. So it takes a strong woman. They got to deal with things like that. But I mean, there's some women who definitely need that emotional support, and we can do that for them, right? But over the years, it just evolved to where you just gotta realize that I got the right to be happy as much as the next man, but it does take a specific woman, a really strong one, to be with somebody in here, right? Otherwise, it really won't work, especially with the added pressure that they got. Just like we got peer pressure, and they got peer pressure by their moms, by their parents, by their
Right.
brothers, letting them know, like, why are you with him? It's not gonna work. So it's one of those things where you just gotta find the right one for you, man. Just like
Yeah,
you
I
would
definitely,
anyone.
I think it does take a strong woman, man, to be faithful and loyal to somebody who's in there who can't support them financially, and they won't have that kind of stability, bro. But we got 40 seconds left, man. Hey,
Yes,
I
sir.
like you, man. I like you,
That's
bro.
right.
You're very well spoken, man,
Talk
and
to
I
me.
feel like you had a lot of got a lot of insight, man. I hope to see you more
Like
on this
it.
podcast, man. Dropping the soap. If you guys like what you guys heard, man, like and subscribe. Write in the
Yeah.
comments if you have a question you want to ask Trigger for me. Go ahead. I'll relay the message. Much love, man. Dropping the soap. Nice to
Likewise,
meet you,
likewise.
Trigger, man. Hope to
Nice
see
to
you
meet you too,
soon.
buddy.
Man, good show,
Dropping
bro.
us
Good
out, and
show.
we
Good
out.
talk, bro.
Absolutely.
Good
Dropping us
talk.
out. We out. What's up? Yes, sir.